Hello and welcome back to Hey It's a Good Life. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Natalie and today's video is all about my 5 absolute top ways to deal with stress. This is something you guys voted for and I'm really excited to be starting this series off with this topic because it is so important. If we can master these stress management techniques and learn to live a less stressful life, so many things can happen. So many dreams can be held and pursued. I'm really excited to delve into this with you guys and lay a really good foundation for this new series. On that note, welcome to the new wellness series. This is something I've wanted to do for so long, but I've kind of struggled with the formatting, and then it just dawned on me. I was like, you know what? If we really were on the retreat center, which we aim to have one day, hopefully very soon, I would invite you guys into the garden. We would have these conversations in the garden. We would have them on a nature walk. We would have them on horseback. And so while we might not have the horses or the nature trails yet, we do have a garden. And so I hope to be making a lot of videos out here with you based on what you guys want to know more about. A little background about me if we don't know each other yet. My name is Natalie. I'm a licensed therapist, a life coach, and a leadership development coach. And I'm also a modern homesteader. And you might be wondering, like, what do these things have in common? Well, they don't have a lot in common other than a focus on wellness. But for us, this is how we steward our dream of a future regenerative farm and retreat center. When my husband and I met 8 years ago, we talked about like what were our deal breakers, or what were the things that we absolutely we needed support for going forward if we were going to be intentional about this. And for him, his thing was, if and when we get married and if and when we have a son, I really want to name him after me. I'm a 4th, I want a 5th. And at first I was like, okay, I didn't know that he was serious. He's very serious about that. And so we're currently growing our family right now, expecting our first, a baby girl, and we're so excited. And my thing was, hey, I'm supposed to start this regenerative farm and retreat center one day. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know that if I could do anything with my life, it would be helping people thrive outside with animals in nature. And so we just really cast vision for that back then. And this little homestead that we have here in suburbia is how we steward that dream and partner with that, and believe that as we take steps in faithfulness and consistency here, that God will meet us and provide more when the time is right and in His timing, because His timing is crucial. So that's a little bit about me. If you are believing with us in this dream, I want to invite you right now to support us for free by hitting that thumbs up, leave a comment, share this video. This video is going to have some really cool things in store for you guys today, and I hope it blesses you. I love that you guys voted for this on my Instagram. So today's video is all about stress management. I'm going to talk with you guys about my 5 favorite ways to manage stress. So without further ado, let's hop into it. And before I forget, you can catch this on my blog, heyitsagoodlife.com. So if you're more of a reader, if you want something to look back onto and read and reference, you can get this all in article form on my blog, heyitsagoodlife.com. All right, so without further ado, let's hop into this 5 easy ways to manage stress. So first off, let's talk about what is stress. Stress is the physical manifestation of fear and anxiety. So when you think of stress, it can be kind of this ambiguous term, but I want you to think of it in terms of how do you find your body responding to fear or anxiety. And that might look different for everybody. For some people, it feels like heart palpitations, sweaty palms, like the desire to run and hide. For other people, that looks like, racing heartbeat, shortness of breath, tense muscles, tension in the neck or in the back, stomach ache. We all kind of experience stress differently based on our physiology, our bodies, the makeup that we've been given, as well as what was modeled for us. So it's a little bit of both nature and nurture. What have we inherited and what was modeled for us? What did we absorb? And what's great about this is that means that we can easily test stress. So right now we're going to take a quick rating. I want you to check in with yourself, check in with your body, and just notice anywhere you might be feeling tension. You can start with a body scan at the top of your head and just working your way down. I'll be honest with you guys, I tend to feel a lot of tension in my neck and back. Do feel a little bit right here. You might feel it behind your eyes, maybe in your ears, your jaw, in your back, your muscles. A lot of us carry a lot of emotions and stress in our glutes. Maybe your butt's feeling kind of tight. If you're having some pain in your legs, just notice where you're feeling tension and take note of that. Now I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it's not bothering you hardly at all, to 10, wow, this is terrible. I want you to give that a rating. We're going to come back to this later. Here's what is so encouraging. You are the gardener of your soul. At any point in time, you can make the needed changes to amend that garden and to make new pathways and to make something beautiful and lovely inside. All right, finally, let's talk about tools. I want to teach you guys Safe Place. Safe Place is an exercise that anybody can use, any place, anytime, and this is how you do Safe Place. So I would like for you now to please picture a place, real or imagined, the most calm, happy, safe, serene place you've ever been. Again, real or imagined is fine. And as you do, I'd invite you to close your eyes and get comfortable in your chair. Feel your hip bones and your booty in your seat, and feel your feet on the floor. I want you to either give yourself a butterfly hug or tap on your knees. Just set your hands on your knees for now. I like the butterfly hug method, so I'm going to show you how to do it this way. And as you think about that place, I want you to think of everything that you see there. Maybe it's blue sky, birds, green foliage. Now bring to mind everything that you smell there. Maybe it's fresh air, smell of fresh rain, ocean mist, your favorite flowers. Now I want you to bring to mind what it feels like there. Maybe you feel the sun on your skin or the ocean mist on your cheeks. Now think about anything you hear there. Maybe you hear the trees rustling in the wind or the waves crashing in the distance. And now bring to mind anything you might taste there. Now holding all of that in your mind, I'm going to invite you to tap with me 8 times, alternating, starting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take a nice deep breath and let it go. Holding your safe place in mind, we're going to tap again on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take a nice deep breath. Let it go, and we'll go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take a nice deep breath. Reach the sky and let it all go. Now remember that number that we took earlier? I want you to check back in with yourself right now and rate your stress on a scale of 1 to 10. I know for me, it's definitely gone down a few notches. I feel so much more relaxed after doing Safe Place, and I hope you do too. There's a lot of research that shows that bilateral movement like this, tapping on both sides or walking, which we're going to talk about in a second, can be very, very soothing. And it's still kind of unclear why that is, but we know that it helps to reduce stress. And so that's what makes Safe Place so effective. Now that's just one tool that you can use to manage your stress a little better. But let's talk about another. Now you've probably heard this before, but walking is really great for stress management. And I've definitely been in a place in my life where walking was not an option for me. Some of you guys know I experienced a really serious injury that left me unable to sit, walk, or stand for months. And it was really, really a scary time. This was just a couple years ago. So I understand that not everybody can walk, but if you are able to walk, I definitely encourage you to walk. And if you're not able to walk, you could do some kind of circular motions like this with your arms in place of walking. That's what I used to do, and it worked. Believe me, if you do this long enough, you will definitely feel it. But if you are able to walk, I would encourage you to walk, get outside, get some fresh air in your lungs. And walking is so great for stress management because, again, of that bilateral movement. And a lot of research still needs to be done on why this is, but here are some benefits to bilateral movement. We know that it helps us process information. So if you're feeling kind of stuck or frustrated with something, go on a walk. You might actually notice that you're able to better process the information and maybe even come a little bit closer to finding a resolution for what's bothering you. We know that it also increases our attention and flexibility. So again, if you're feeling kind of stuck or frustrated on something, it's hard to focus, go for a walk, come back to it, set it down for a second, go on a walk, pick it back up when you're ready. You might find that you've got a lot more attention that you can devote to it and a lot better focus as well. We know that walking also creates what's called a distancing effect. So if you're feeling stuck or frustrated about something, go on a walk, come back to it later, and you might notice that it's not so in your face. Whatever it was that was stressing you out is now not so loud. So there's a little bit more distance. And when we can get a little farther away from a painting or a garden or a farm, you know, we can see the whole picture a little bit better and see what needs to be addressed. When we're like just stuck in it and we're just so in the muck and the mire, it's really hard to see the bigger picture and make the needed adjustments. So a distancing effect can be really helpful to reducing stress. So you can see the whole picture and say, okay, I feel better about this. I can see what needs to change. We also know that walking helps to decrease worry. It just has a soothing effect. So if you're feeling a little anxious or stressed, try going on a walk, see if it doesn't reduce your worry. All right, we are on number 3. I want to talk to you guys about breathing. Now, we could do a whole series on breath work, but I want to talk to you about my favorite form of breathing, which is diaphragmatic breathing. Your diaphragm is the muscle that helps move your lungs. It's what allows you to breathe. It sits right here underneath your rib cage, and it helps you to take air in and out, and it's responsible for a lot of things. It also regulates pressure in your body, and the vagus nerve runs through it. So it's a really important muscle, and a lot of us neglect it. So diaphragmatic breathing is actually what I was assigned as homework when my injury was so bad that I literally could not do physical therapy. I remember I got to the physical therapist's office barely, just like hobbling in there, and he went to go test my muscle, and I couldn't even lift my leg by myself because I was so weak and in so much pain. He looked at me and he was helping me lift my leg, and he was like, "You are weaker than some of my 80 and 90-year-old patients. I can't even do anything with you today until you just go home and rest and get your system out of fight or flight mode with some diaphragmatic breathing." I was in so much pain. I was stuck in fight or flight, and you can't heal in fight or flight, which again is a whole topic for another time, but it's really important to focus on breath if you're dealing with stress or if you're wanting to heal something in your life. So let's talk about a really easy breathing technique that involves the diaphragm that can help you reduce your stress. First, I kind of just want you to find it. So really clench here at your ribs. Right there. You can feel it. That's your diaphragm. So once you've found it, we're going to do a little exercise. Exhale 5, hold 5, inhale 5, hold 5. So let me show you what that looks like. So it looks a little something like this. So hopefully you can see that I'm pushing as much air as I can out with my pregnant belly and taking in as much air as I can with my pregnant self. You really want to stretch that diaphragm. It's so good for you. Really tighten it, and then really open it. So again, now that you kind of know what it looks like, we'll do it together, and maybe I'll put some music over this plane that's going overhead. So ready? Do it with me now. We're gonna do some diaphragmatic breathing. We're gonna exhale for 5, hold for 5, inhale for 5, and hold for 5. So you can repeat that as many times as you need. Be careful because it can make you a little lightheaded, which I'm feeling right now. But I'd say do it 2 or 3 times and see if you don't feel a little bit more centered and grounded and less stressed. All right, tip number 4, and one of my favorites. Okay, I'm giving you all my favorites today. So tip number 4 is essential oils. Now, I know there are a lot of different kinds of essential oils and there's a lot of different opinions on essential oils. I personally use doTERRA essential oils because they're certified therapeutic grade. They're like rigorously tested for purity, which I appreciate. The farmers are treated super fair. It's indigenously sourced. Like, there's so many reasons why I choose doTERRA. So I just want to say, like, be careful what essential oils you use because not all essential oils are created equal. I really think that doTERRA makes some of the best on the market. That's what I use, and they really help me with so many things, from skin issues to stress management. Like, essential oils are very powerful tools to have in your tool belt. So let's talk about some ways that you can use them to help reduce your stress. So I want to share with you one of my favorites, which is called Past Tense. This is one of my favorite oils. I absolutely love this oil, and you can rub it on your neck, on your back. For me, I find it actually really helps with any kind of muscle tension, but it also helps with any kind of like head tension. So if you're experiencing tension in your body, I would really recommend this one. Another very grounding blend is called Balance. This is doTERRA's grounding blend, and I love this blend. If I'm feeling like I just want to feel like I'm in the woods and just feel super centered and grounded, I will diffuse some Balance in the car or in the room, and I just love, love, love the way it smells. Highly, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Another one of my favorites is using a lavender in an Epsom salt bath, or just diffusing lavender, but I'm just sharing with you like my personal tips and tricks with de-stressing with essential oils is 1, maybe 2 drops. That's all you need in about a cup of Epsom salts. Draw yourself a bath, toss that in there, and it is so, so calming and relaxing for the entire body and nervous system, and you're getting the added benefits of that magnesium absorption from all the Epsom salt. So really would recommend that as well. There are a lot of different ways to use essential oils. Part of why I'm opening our online shop is to make blends available to you guys that help you with your specific issues. So definitely stay tuned for that. My goal is to have our shop up and running by the end of the month. So if you're looking for a blend specifically for an issue related to stress or anything for that matter, keep an eye on our shop because we'll have some coming soon. And of course, if you want help with essential oils, just reach out to me on Instagram. I'm hanging out there every day. So if you're like, Natalie, I really need help with you, want to brainstorm essential oil stuff, just shoot me a message and I'll do my best to help you out. All right, and the last tip for managing your stress. Now, please don't hate me, okay? This is a hard one to say, but it needs to be said. Get off coffee and get on whole foods. I said it. Okay, and this is coming from somebody who loves coffee. You guys know I love my coffee. I want to have my own chicken coffee permaculture shop one day. I tell you guys more about that in the future. I've always dreamed of having a coffee shop. I think it would be really cool to grow and roast my own beans one day. Story for another time, but I absolutely love coffee, and I had to come to the harsh realization in the last couple of years that it has actually not been beneficial for my health because I was abusing coffee. So there are a lot of substances that are legal that don't really get the label that maybe they should get, and so I'll just tell you as a friend, be careful with how much coffee you're drinking because it can lead to adrenal fatigue, and that has been my experience at least, and the experience of some other people I know who struggle with adrenal fatigue. You just want to be really careful with how much coffee you do drink, because here is the thing, is that coffee, if you look it up, like how does coffee work, you'll find that, oh, okay, it's adenosine and like it blocks, you know, certain receptors, and so then you feel more energized and you're not feeling like this sleepiness neurochemicals anymore. But what I feel like is less talked about is how it affects your adrenal glands. So coffee actually stimulates your adrenal glands to release adrenaline and cortisol. Well, what are those things? They're stress hormones. Adrenaline is what keeps us in fight or flight. If something terrible is happening and we need to make a split decision, our frontal lobe gets cut off, the amygdalas turn on, the adrenaline kicks in, and it's like, okay, it's time to run from the lion. I'm not going to be doing this advanced calculus anymore. I got to get away from the lion. And so your adrenaline takes over. That's the fight or flight response I'm talking about. Without knowing it, we can be inducing that flight or fight response with drinking coffee. And when we build a tolerance to that coffee, well, then we need more of the coffee to do the job. And then suddenly we're drinking 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cups of coffee a day. And we're building this tolerance to the point that eventually our adrenal glands won't be able to keep up. And that is what I have experienced. I felt very sick, and so I had to basically get off coffee. I've had to do it several times in the last couple years because coffee and I just have a toxic love affair with one another. I love coffee. This is so hard to even say this, like, for real, you guys, but it's something I want you guys to be aware of, because I've been having these conversations with friends lately of like, yeah, this is the truth about coffee. It releases cortisol, that's a stress hormone. It releases adrenaline, that's a stress hormone. And people don't know that. And so I'm not saying you have to completely get off coffee, maybe just reduce it, but I will say that being off coffee has done wonders for my health and for my mood. Things are so much more stable, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Not the funnest topic, but something that we do need to talk about. And then also, eating more whole foods is so good for you and can really help decrease that stress. The less processed foods, the better. Again, these are topics that are like really broad, and we could really go down the rabbit hole on these things, but I just want to cover these topics with you guys so that you guys are in the know. These are my 5 top ways to manage your stress a little bit better. I hope that they helped you. I hope this video blesses you. Sometimes these things feel impossible, but you absolutely can make a change at any point in your life. Absolutely can take positive steps towards managing your stress differently, and I guarantee you're going to feel a lot better. I hope that you guys try these tips and tricks, and if you do, definitely let me know. If you guys like videos like this, also let me know. I'm happy to make more of them. I want to leave you with a parting thought that I learned from my mama, which is if you can change one thing every day, that's 365 changes in a year. And even if it's not every day, let's just say it's every week, that's 52 changes in a year. That is a big deal, and that's something to be proud of. And I hope you find that encouraging, that change is possible, and you are the gardener of your soul. You can make the life that you want to live. You can live your good life. I hope this video helps you do that. Just like that, I'm out of battery and out of time. Thank you so much for joining me today in the garden, you guys. I'm taking this big gust of wind as a sign that we're onto something really good here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Those are all ways to support us for free. And I'm really looking forward to making more wellness videos. If you guys have any requests, drop me a line down below. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. That's where I hang out every day. And I hope to see you very soon. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.